Season's greetings from Bishop's Court in Sale on Bryakalung country of the Gunai Kurnai peoples. Here in the room where we have our Christmas tree set up, we also enjoy the opportunity to reflect on this Leunig print entitled Birdsong. Like many of you, I'm sure I was saddened to learn of the passing of Michael Leunig last week. I used to cut out his cartoons from the Saturday papers and paste them in this big old scrapbook. Here's one of his Christmas carols on the first page. One of my first theology teachers, Australian Jesuit John Honour, has written a lovely little book called A Common Philosophy, picking up on the title of Leunig's A Common Prayer, in which he juxtaposes some quotes from the great Roman Catholic theologian Karl Rahner with some of Leunig's cartoons and artwork, thus bringing them into conversation. Here's a little of what John has to say about Karl Rahner, one of the most influential Christian thinkers of the 20th century. Rahner has argued that to retrieve the significance of what has been revealed in the past, we must also understand what it means to be human today. The realms of the natural and the spiritual are, in Rahner's view, tied together rather than separate. God is among us rather than distant. Our very human condition offers a clue to the kind of God we yearn for and the ways in which we can find rest for our hearts. So too, Leunig offers a devastating insight into human foibles and follies. Like Rahner, he takes the human condition as something wonderful, mysterious, foolish and sacred. Both Rahner and Leunig are preoccupied with human yearning, with loneliness, with the heart, with the materialism, evil and guilt that goes with human freedom, with the mysteries of the Spirit, with angels, with innocence and Christmas, and with the joy of coming home. And so here's a little snippet of Karl Rahner's reflections on the mystery of Christmas. When we say it is Christmas, we mean that God has spoken into the world God's last, deepest, and most beautiful word in the incarnate word, a word that can never be revoked because it is God's definitive deed, because it is God himself in the world. And this word means, I love you, you, the world, and all humanity. Rahner continues, if the desire for the nearness of God, which alone in an unknown way makes everything else bearable, sees how this nearness manifests itself not in the postulates of the mind, but in the flesh and in the hovels of the earth, then only in Jesus of Nazareth, on whom the star of God rests, can one find courage to bend one's knee and tearfully pray. My prayer for you this Christmas is that in that deepest, most beautiful divine word, the Word made flesh, that you will find rest for your hearts, as together in the intimate nearness of God we find the courage to kneel and to pray for our broken and divided world that God so loves, for our church in all its woundedness as Christ's body, for our households and our communities, for ourselves and for each other. Encouraged to believe with Leunig that love is born with a dark and troubled face, when hope is dead, and in the most unlikely place, love is born love is always born.